choices. It's like going to Tesco. If there's only one sandwich, it's fine. If there's 100 sandwiches, you start reading every sandwich. Yeah. Which one's the one I want? Maybe that one was better. So the brokey days were good days, bro, man. Like I'd get McDonald's and you're laughing with your boys. Yeah. The brokey days were great. And I'm not complaining about being rich. Obviously, I worked hard for this and it's a fantastic life I live now. But I think without those brokey days, without those original days to compare it to, without that juxtaposition, then I don't think being rich would be fun at all. I think it's only fun because you can compare it to the days when you weren't rich. That's the only thing that makes it fun. The only thing that makes a $10,000 steak fun is that you can laugh saying how you never had 10 grand in your bank till you were 27 years old. Yeah. Like otherwise it's boring. Otherwise okay, steak. And I think if you're born with too much money, that you'll never truly be happy. I think you need the brokey days. They're the best days.
Because some people are literally brought up rich, born into money, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, if you're born and your dad's got Ferraris, Lamborghinis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You think that they're not really experiencing true fun, happiness sort of thing because they don't know the difference.
It's not the destination, it's the journey. And humans, we all work in regards to, it's even the way the human body works, right? If you're driving at 200 miles an hour, you don't feel it. You only feel the acceleration getting to 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So if you're born at 200 miles an hour, it doesn't feel fast. It doesn't feel fun. My life feels fun now because of all the acceleration to get here, and I can remember the times when I was stuck by the side of the motorway without a car.
Yeah.
So I have that juxtaposition. Without that, it's not even interesting. It's not even fun. So the brokey days, anyone who's out here who's broke, good. These will be the happiest days of your life once you made it. You just got to remember everything and sit around with your boys. I mean, maybe some people change with money. Maybe if you get new friends and things change, but I hang around with the exact same people I did when I was poor. I got the same friends. I live with the same people, the same guys, same jokes, nothing's changed for me. So for me, I'm just a broke guy with a bunch of money. That's all that's happened.
Just the financial situations have changed.
Yeah, the financial situation changed. That's it.
So what, you grew up in Luton, right?
Yep.
So what was your whole upbringing like then?
Yeah, so
School life, everything.
Yeah, so I was born in America. I left America when I was 10.
Yep.
Moved to Luton, where my mom was originally from. Went to Lee Manor High School in Marsh Farm. I think it was one of the bottom 3 high schools in the country at the time. Went to a nice rubbish high school. Went to college, did some A-levels. Rejected university because they tried to tell me to do a personal statement. I couldn't be bothered.
Is it?
Yeah, that was literally
What would you have studied in uni?
I did really well in my A-levels. In my GCSEs, I didn't try. And I got a bunch of B's and C's. And I know I'm a genius, right? So it annoyed me. So I thought I'm actually going to try for my A-levels. So I got a bunch of A's. I did business studies as well, got an A. And then I did some advanced diploma in business studies for the top 1% of scores or some crap. And I got a merit in that. And then I was offered a place at, what was it called? Begins with A. Ascot.
Okay, yeah. That's in next to Birmingham.
Yeah. for advanced business, like basically what every man would dream of, right? Advanced business, university, blah, blah. So I offered this place. And they said I had to do a personal statement. And I said, no, I don't. I've already been offered a place. They already give me a place because I'm the big G. Look at my scores. I'm a genius. And they said, no, you still have to do a personal statement. I was like, why? Who's going to read this? Hi, my name's Andrew. I like to run.
You literally got to sell
I go
yourself
to
in a
the
piece of
gym.
paper.
Like, no one's reading this shit. Like, why am I even writing this? It offended me.
Yeah.
And my class tutor, or whoever she was like, well, everyone's doing one. And I was like, you know what? Get fucked. And tell Ascot to get fucked too. So I didn't even go. I quit that. My mom went nuts, obviously. Told her I was going to be a kickboxing world champion. She's like, no, you're not. Wrong. So I just started kickboxing. I got a normal job. I got a wagey job. I was a wagey. I was working as an IT technician in my former high school, fixing laptops.
Okay.
Got fired from there for sleeping with the head girl. You know how it is. It's hard out here.
How old is it?
I was like 18.
Oh, shit,
and she was 16. So I was like, what's the problem? And they're like, oh, yeah, but you're a member of staff. Da, 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 da. So, whatever. So I got fired from there. And then, I got some sales jobs. And I was training hard to fight. And I think sales jobs are probably the best job any person can get. If I had to get a job again, it'd be a sales job. Because you learn a lot as a salesman. You learn, and sales is a really important skill. You learn a skill. And also, if you're actually good at it, it's not even really like having a job. They don't fire the top salesman.
Yeah, no, they don't.
No, they do not fire the top salesman. You turn up late. You crash your car. Well, sorry, G. Boom, here's my numbers. They're like, oh, all right, dickhead, but all right, bye. They don't give a fuck if you're the big boss, right? So if you're a salesman, it's the only time you get any kind of freedom. And also all the responsibility and all the pressures on your back where it belongs as a man. You need to adopt stress and adopt problems if you want to be successful as a man. And as a salesman, you get that. So I had a bunch of sales jobs. I did a bunch of sales things. I was fighting, became world champion, started making money with fighting. But even fighting, kickboxing is not boxing, bro. Most I ever got paid for a fight was like 200 grand.
Yeah, because some boxers, I think Amir Khan for his last fight, rumors have it that he got paid about 6 million or something like that.
Yeah. Boxing's different.
That's big money, yeah.
Yeah, it's big money. But as a kickboxer, you don't make that much money, man. I had an apartment and a BMW, and I was doing all right, but I wasn't balling. You know, I couldn't just pull money out the sky and just do whatever. Like, if you're fighting twice in a year,
yeah,
and let's say you get 50 grand for one fight, 40 grand for another fight, 90 grand? By the time you give your manager 20%, pay all your rent, paid your car, but you ain't rich, right? And that's the best you'll ever get out of kickboxing, ever.
Well, even at top level.
Top level. You have to go to UFC, and even most UFC fighters have no money.
Yeah.
You got to be the champ to get paid.
Yeah, people saying Dana White robs their fighters.
Well, I mean, the thing is with the UFC is that everyone says Dana White should pay them more, but look at how liquid the UFC is. Even during COVID, when basically every other organization couldn't function and shut down, he managed to keep shows running. He managed to keep UFC running, keep fighters getting paid, keep fighters in shape. I mean, I know a lot of kickboxers who didn't have a fight for two and a half years. How are you going to stay in shape for 2.5 years?
Yeah, and then you come out
doing what?
Yeah.
How are you going to drive to the gym every day, eat good every day without even getting paid to fight now? So it's hard. So maybe he does rob the fighters. I don't know, but he's an excellent businessman. He's provided a platform for people. But the point I'm trying to make is that fighting as a career path is a terrible career path because it's just too hard to make money. Too much can go wrong. You can get unlucky. You can break your hand. You know, you can get sick on the day before a fight and then lose the fight because you had a bit of a cold and now you got knocked out and you're you know what I mean? Like, it's hard. It's too hard. It's unpredictable. So I always knew that even when I was fighting, and I was always trying to find a way to make money. Even when I was fighting, all I did was try different ways to make money. I tried a million things, and that's what you have to do. You have to try a bunch of things and learn a bunch of lessons until you finally find something that works. So,
and when did you find when did you have like your first taste of true money sort of thing?
That's a good question. And I think one of the reasons why I was so motivated to make money is because even when I was completely broke, through fighting, I had access to a lifestyle. I saw money, right? So, man, I could tell you stories now that even sound stupid to me. I went to Deauville, France to fight for a world title. And I was sitting there and the promoter hadn't turned up yet. And I ordered 2 waters, 2 Perrier.
Yeah.
And they came and they were like €9 each. And I paid for them. And I said to Tristan, 20 quid for fucking water. Because we're brokies. And he's like, yeah, that's crazy. And we look around and there's all these tables just with water, champagne, food, you know, like $1,000 lunches, £1,000 lunches. No one gave a shit, right? And we're sitting there going, where are we going wrong with life? Like, we're worried about the price of water. That dude's got a lobster. He's got like a big bottle of champagne. He's got 3 chicks. Like, we're going wrong. So I always knew there was, outside of the matrix, there were these people who were living in a way that money didn't have any significance. Money wasn't real to them. So I always knew it. I was always around it, especially through fighting. I went to a bunch of crazy countries, Kazakhstan, all these places. We're in Kazakhstan, a poor country. It's just G-Wagon, 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 G-Wagon. I'm like, what's going on? Like, there are people who are living outside the matrix. And once you live outside of it, once you get to a certain level of incomes and wealth, everything becomes free. Like, when I was looking at the price of that water, no one else in that restaurant even looked at the price of anything. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm like now. I don't know the price of anything I eat or buy. If it's not a house or a car, even most supercars, G, I don't even know. If I want the new Maserati, the MC20, the Spider, I'm just going to text my boy, yeah, fully spec, every option. And it's going to come out the bank and I ain't going to notice. Like, it doesn't make a difference. If I have 11.8 million or 11.4 million, what difference does it make? It doesn't mean anything. Yeah. So you get to a point where the whole world's free. And then you start just buying stuff, not because you want it, but because it's completely free. So even if you 1% want it, right? You're like, oh, well, maybe I might use it once. 400 G's. I might drive it one day this summer.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how you get to. It's the same way people just buy coffee at a whim. You end up doing that with everything. So I always knew that kind of life existed. I used to talk with my brother about it all the time. I was like, bro, we're doing something wrong. Something doesn't add up. We're still thinking in terms of like make money, spend money, money in the bank. It doesn't. There's people who are living for free and they just point at things and they get everything they want. And my brother used to call me crazy. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, there's the matrix. We're inside the system. We need to escape. And now I managed to find a way out. So I always knew it existed. I was always looking for it. And it does exist, man. You can get to a point of income. You can get to a point of wealth generation where literally everything. I don't know how else to say it. I want to say it in a more articulate way for the sake of the podcast. The only way I can explain it is everything is free. That's how I view the world. Everything's free. If I want something, it's free. I want dinner's free, coffee's free, supercars are free, private jets are free. It's free. It's free. I just want it because all they want is numbers on a screen, and numbers on a screen are what's numbers on a screen? It's nothing. It's free. I don't know how else to say it. You're telling me if I give you some numbers on a screen, you're going to go